To put our ticker up.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. That's nice.
What ticker?
The ticker, dude. I had to put the ticker up. Look at that.
Oh, dude, I like the tits on the ticker, dude.
You like the ticker tits?
The ticker tits, dude.
Ryan,
ticker ticks.
Fuck, I don't have a drink, Ryan. Ryan, can I introduce the show, or do you just wanted to go live? Like, do I have to wait?
This is bullshit. Dave replaced me because, God forbid, somebody need electricity, David.
It's fucking
you
wild.
are selfish.
How dare you work when you know I need your content for my paycheck?
So you're admitting you get your paycheck, indicating it's paycheck worthy of David Corn.
Correct. Yes, I receive income. We do the show. I receive the income, and then I keep it.
I don't know how my picture is on the
show up.
You're like,
and then you
don't show up.
No call,
no show to work. Huh? Oh, really? I was out gaining experience for content, David. I understand. You don't understand. That was content. That was show prep, David. You're missing the point here.
You put my income at jeopardy, right?
Income at jeopardy. I'm creating greater content. I got a super nutrition video, David. That's irrefutable.
Okay, let me tell you about the content we're going to create today, and then I'll be curious about what content you created while you didn't show up for work. New York Times has an article that the Democrats are looking to spend a lot of money to get into our space, Ryan. Our space.
What do you mean?
We'll talk about it. Hold on. I gotta go over you forgot
like
how the show already? I gotta go over the
I don't know. Let's ask Eve what she thinks, David. She's the new co-host.
I have to go over
Don't even need me. No, just swap me out like I'm some whore. Some fucking whore. Just 2 fingers and 4 quarters. That's all I'm good for.
Can I proceed, Ryan?
I have every right.
I want to touch on the topics, Ryan.
Oh, keep touching, David. You're touching topics, all right.
Ben Shapiro.
Tick the ticker and touch the topic.
Ben Shapiro, Ryan. Fuck your retirement. We'll get into that. Megyn Kelly versus Jake Tapper. I will not let up on Jake Tapper, Ryan. I won't do it. We're not going to let this guy go. Megyn Kelly does an outstanding.
Where's Megyn Kelly? Great, dude. Great.
She fucking dominates him.
I didn't always like her. It's cool she came around. You know who changed her, David?
Trim. A congressman was charged for assaulting an ICE officer, Ryan. We're going to get into that. You weren't, if you don't recall, you weren't here yesterday, but we talked on an Epstein clip, and I just really need to jump back to it real quick. And we might do just for fun to round out the episode, we might do a clip from the Whatever podcast because it made me laugh and I don't care.
I haven't seen any clips from there in a while, so I'm excited.
Oh my god, it's what he does best. I get it, but it's his whole shtick. It's fine. I know, but this one specifically made me laugh because it just did. Ryan, I love you.
Guys talk about girls. I love what girls talk about guys. It's a beautiful.
I gave you the breakdown of the show today, Ryan. Is there something you would prefer to start with?
Yes, with how well I did with my outro. Sounded just like you, Ryan.
Did she say it was the greatest podcast in human history?
Oh,
I said in the world, I think.
She butchered the outro. Yeah, she did.
Almost nailed it.
She did. Southern Pennsylvania.
She did a good job for about an hour, and then once the outro hit, it was fucking. It went south.
Listen,
yo, you're right here. Yo, hey, turn left.
You know what? You know who stepped in?
Yeah, you're right here. Bring her home. I gave you the format.
We
fucking 700 episodes.
We were short-staffed.
Hey, Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch the side rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. How hard is that? I give you the script. Fucking plate crash. Turn right. Buy dog food, people. Buy dog food.
With the problem. I think what happened is we were short-staffed yesterday, and she didn't turn left.
I did.
Dave, staff would incline on get paid.
No, not necessarily.
I did tell.
I have 0 royalties.
After we were done recording,
itching,
I said, wow, I'm not as good as Ryan because I didn't freak out and scream about Ben Shapiro for a good.
Ooh, perfect. Let's talk about Ben Shapiro. Perfect. That's what we're going to start with.
I may be the only guy dunking on Ben Shapiro, David. It's truly the only guy left dunking on Ben Shapiro.
Well, there's some, but no one does it quite like you, Ryan. Here comes here comes the old
That's why I'm on
Ben,
Bumble and
good old Ben. My wife is dry Shapiro. Here he comes.
Dry shampoo Shapiro. Dude.
He had to have known no one was going to have his back when he said that, and that's when things started to go south for old Ben.
The wet pussy.
Here is Ben Shapiro, right? Should I move this thing? I feel like this thing should be.
He's terrifying.
Should our scroller be at the top?
Dude, you know what?
How do you feel about the top? They have the center option, which I don't love.
He looks more and more like a young Mr. Burns. Like the more and more he ages, dude.
Here's Ben Shapiro being Mr. Burns.
He even kind of talks like him. Excellent. The Daily Wire.
And let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years. And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside, just on a fiscal level and on a logical level. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy in the United States was 63 years old. Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80. It's totally insane that you believe that you should be able to work from the time that you are essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period, pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk. That is not fiscally sustainable. The notion that if you have to raise...
For the record, the simple math on this... Hold on. Just so I can give him some benefit of the doubt. The simple math on this, he is 100% correct.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, of course, Dave. That's a shtick, Dave.
Everyone is going to fall apart. My parents are that age. My parents are not retired. And they shouldn't retire. It would be very bad for them to retire. By the way, it's disrespectful to people who are 67, 68, 69 years old to suggest that they are in the same shape as people who are 65 were in 1940. It's not true at all. Have you met a 65-year-old lately? 65-year-olds are not old in the United States. They're not. 68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81.
For the record.
I think you're gay and you identify as straight.
Back when he's saying the life expectancy was 63, it's not because humans couldn't live for a long period of time. A 65-year-old then and a 65-year-old now are not dramatically different in shape. The thing was, back then, there were a lot of diseases that are very curable now that were taking people out early.
Clearly for vaccine reasons, David.
A 65-year-old in 1945 is not dramatically older than a 65-year-old today. Mike says he's on track to retire at 55. Oh, don't tell Benny boy. But here's the thing, because
good for you, bro. Good for you, bro.
The conversation he was having was surrounding Social Security, but then he tried to make, which I'm fine with, the mathematics on that I get. First of all, do not expect Social Security when you get older. I just need everyone to be clear on that. I'm not saying it's not going to be there. What I'm saying is you should plan your life as if Social Security will not exist. You should be socking money away. But the problem I have is that he doesn't just make a fiscal argument against the Social Security system, which is, in fact, as Elon Musk pointed out, a Ponzi scheme. It's literally a pyramid scheme. But then he makes a social appeal to the fact that people should work forever. And I can't get behind at all.
I don't understand how he's going to say that it costs too much money, but he promotes the murder of children.
Whoa, ouch.
And honestly, I've said this before.
How
With
expensive
all
do
the
you think
fucking
that is,
money,
man?
I don't know, $1 trillion. It's probably less than Social Security, David.
We touched on this a little bit yesterday. One of the most agreeable things in human history should be that tax money should be kept within the borders. The idea that we're sending money to Ukraine and Israel and Saudi Arabia and all these places is fucking madness. So, to your point, Ryan, the Social Security system is a joke and it's a pyramid scheme. With that said, if I'm going to spend money, put it in Social Security, not in fucking Israel blowing up the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, that sounds like a pyramid scheme too. If I'm picking a pyramid scheme, give me the fucking...
Give me the I get to retire pyramid scheme?
Well, maybe, or I die because the government said so, David.
If you're giving me
that's the other funny thing.
Give
you know why
people
people
the
don't...
choice. Here's the choice. You either pick you get to retire like everyone else before you, or you get to bomb countries you've never been to. Which one do you prefer? Phrase it that way and see how many people send their money to Israel and send their money to Ukraine.
Yeah, or building schools for fucking kids or playgrounds. How about playgrounds instead of beer tents? How about that? How about not closing correctional facilities, rehabilitation centers, and drug facilities?
Fixing
I'm
our
not even goddamn
homelessness, our
socialist.
schools.
Do you know how much fucking money there is in this country and we just outsource the shit to murder people? It's insanity. Ben Shapiro's got to talk about old people. When do you think's the last time he went and hung out with real people? In his Jewish circle, David. With all their shlamas and everything.
The shlamas.
Shlamas, balamas. I don't give a fuck. Little yarmulkes. I don't care. I don't care. I don't really care, dude.
Isn't the shlama that animal?
Go drive down and show me a 65-year-old in the city of fucking Buffalo. Show me that guy is working. That guy has worked at 30 years. What are you talking about?
Last time I went roofing with my cousin. His uncle and or great uncle, it was a weird relation, but he was in his 80s and he was up on the roof. And that's fine if people choose to do that. I think the guy's out of his fucking mind. But if you choose to do that, go for it. But I am not hopping on a roof at 85.
I'm not wrenching past Mike 55. That's pretty good, brother. That's pretty good, dude.
55/57. Definitely not 56.
Dude, yeah.
Ain't no fucking way I retired at 56.
Nah, fuck that 5'6", dude. It's a bad number, dude. Bad number.
No, that's awesome. 55 would be a good time to retire.
Yeah, dude. It's just cash out, ride out, whatever, sell, and then fuck the kids, sell the house. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he thinks about it. Probably grandkids would change things. All to say, it's kind of like, Dave, to your point about the Ponzi scheme, we've said it on the show. I'm not a socialist. If you are going to tax me to oblivion and say that it's to help people, and you don't help me,
then help
and to
our
prove
people.
Dave's, to help more people, poor people, more people. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. When's the last time you talked to somebody under a millionaire? They poison my food, water, and fucking drink the air. Do you know the air is plastic? We don't even breathe real air.
That's an actual real problem. I've heard this said many times.
The climate change, David. I breathe plastic, microplastics. I have fucking anxiety now.
Well, just
give me the bag so I can breathe in cardboard. It's fucking crazy, Phil.
Many people have said this before, but if you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. And I'm not saying Ben Shapiro is the smartest person in every room, but he's probably the smartest person in a lot of rooms. But his other problem is that he literally is in the room with the same people all the time. So he never gets counterpoints. I would love to be in the rooms Ben Shapiro's in, because I guarantee nobody says what we're saying currently. Nobody has ever said to him, Ben, I get what you're saying. It doesn't financially make sense, but you want to bomb children with U.S. taxpayer dollars.
But my grandpa and my father and I can't retire because it costs too much money. When I was told that that's what it was for,
I have to
something I paid
sublet. I have to sublet genociding Palestinians, so I can't retire. Is
I
that
can't tax deduct
where we
that on
are,
a
Ben
1099, dude.
Shapiro? Is that where we are, Ben Shapiro? Is that what we're getting to? I'm not saying Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself. You go do whatever you think you need to do, Israel, but it's not with our money. I gotta retire. Sorry, Israel. Go bomb kids with your own money. Is that a hard conversation to have? Oh, Ukraine? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the rest of Europe's got your back, but we got to retire our 65-year-olds. So I don't know. Figure it out.
You know why
yourself.
Ben Shapiro's the real reason Ben Shapiro is telling you this is because the millennials are the largest generation in American history, David, and there isn't enough people to replace me without fucking robots. Okay? So I either can never die or have 1 million children. So that Ben Shapiro could keep having light bulbs on so he could tell me that it's my fault that there's not enough dead AI Hamas children, David, in 2,459.
Joe says I love being in the room where people are smarter than me. You have to be in those rooms. You cannot be the smartest person in the room. You're wasting your time.
Ben Shapiro literally looks like Green Goblin right now.
There is somebody on Earth, but I guarantee it's nobody watching and nobody doing the show. There's somebody on Earth who is going to be the smartest person in the room because he's the smartest person in the world. But for the most part, a good rule of thumb, the average person, you should be with people constantly smarter than you or better than you at something. So you have someone you can bounce ideas off of and grow. You can't just you can't be the king in the room with peasants all the time. Like, if you know more than them, you're wasting your time. They might be getting something from you.
David, what was this? The guy with the highest IQ in the world said that blacks and whites
the guy who ended up being like wildly misogynist and racist. It was like this super yeah. We looked this up before. It was kind of interesting. He was the smartest man in the world, and he was fucking flat out
the guy
racist.
was like a physicist and like this, just blah blah blah. He's like an electrician. He could fix a car. The guy could do everything, just fucking everything. And then it was like controversy surrounding him. It was just the worst shit. Eugenics. He was anti-interracial. It was amazing. I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think the secret to your success is? Well, whites should only be marrying whites. Like, holy fuck, did we get the right guy? Holy shit.
Dude, you're the smartest there is. You're fucking...
We thought you were going to say something about your schooling, your parents.
My racist inbred family is going to be like, dude, I told you I was smart the whole time, dude. Dude, the Daily Wire interviewed that guy.
Ryan, this show right now.
So crazy. I fucking hate that guy. Bet you fuck him.
This show right now.
I can't retire. If I ever work there, I'm blowing the electric up. Be like, sorry, dude, the outlet just don't work anymore. I just don't know. I got to be live in 5 minutes. Sorry, Dave. I have a hard time dealing with him.
No. It's great. It's fine. Ryan, this show right now, the one that we're currently doing.
Not yesterday's show that I was at?
Even yesterday's show, honestly. These people on the left, politically, cannot figure out how to do this show. So
I'm in my car, so did they try that one, David?
Well, their answer is to throw a shit pile of money at Ryan.
Oh, they did the good old Democratic approach, huh, dude? Let's just get $10 billion, try to make a podcast cool. You got to beat Rogan. How do we do it? Money. What the fuck, dude? Did you tell him that we'll shill for Democrats? Did you tell that?
I absolutely won't.
I will 100% shill for like a 2-year contract for like $10 million, and then the day after that contract, I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's just a lie to get their money, so then we could double invest in this program. That's what you do against the enemy, David. When you're strong, appear
Ryan.
weak.
Democrats throw money at problem, countering GOP clout online. At private gatherings, strategists and donors are swapping ideas to help the party capture the digital mojo that helped President Trump win. And
Are they mad that they can't
there is a
meme
price
tape?
tag.
The left can't meme.
This is the left admitting they can't meme, and now their solution, as they always choose to solve things with, is just throwing shit piles of money at it. Just throw a lot of money at it. You'll get somebody like Rogan. No, you won't.
Fuck it.
You won't.
What do
Rogan,
we do?
You had Rogan. Like
He lived in California.
He endorsed Bernie Sanders less than a decade ago. You had Rogan. You lost him, you idiots. You don't need to spend money. You need to come back to reality.
Dave Rubin. You had Dave Rubin, Russell Brand.
They had all these people. You had all of them. What do you mean? You don't need to spend money. You need to get away from idiots like Destiny online. That's not the answer. What are you going to throw a bunch of money behind his program and advertise? Nobody likes him. He sucks. Literally, he sucks. He sucked. Fuentes is,
Oh, he blew a guy. I knew he was a cuck. The cuck thing.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's what the Democrats, what do we need to do to prove that we are the future? I don't know. Let's put millions of dollars behind a guy who publicly had his girlfriend fucked. Like that is the type of people that the Democrats are going to put their money behind. When you already had Rogan, a super awesome UFC fighter guy who fucking like the coolest dude, you had him and you lost.
Fucking Bo Hunt's inside, fucking smokes cigars, lifts weights.
What do we need? You got to throw millions of dollars at stuff. No, you don't. You got to come back to reality.
Nah, dude, we can't meme. Just can't.
I will solve their problem. Give me $1,000 and I will sit in the room and I will solve your problem. Stop being leftist. You will have all the clout online. Be centrists, even moderately center left, and have mildly entertaining people, and you'll be okay.
Be like milquetoast Tim Pool.
Give people a quiz, okay? Give these influencers and content creators, give them a quiz, okay? And it'll be like 10 questions long. It'll be like, do you like to fuck kids? And if your answer is yes, automatically out. No.
That's 80% of them.
Yeah, that's 80% of them out. Perfect. We're already weeding them out. Destiny's gone.
Are you for free market and free ideas? There's like the other 10%.
Do you believe that people should have their speech silenced? Oh, yes, of course. Okay, well then you're out. There's 20 more percent. Oh, no, now they have 0% of people. Maybe that wouldn't work. These people will never get it.
Do you think that children...
You can't fix your messaging with money. You have to fix your messaging.
Clearly, David, it's just,
You know what?
Supply demand, David. So, Dave, what is this an article or is this a screenshot?
This is a screenshot. I was going to go to the article, but New York Times charges you to read their articles that nobody wants to read.
So they could throw money behind somebody to get free shit on YouTube, but I can't have the news article for information for free.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But then they can sell my data after I pay for a subscription to make money on me.
Yeah, that's right.
While also simultaneously saying that journalism and newsprint is dying.
That's right.
But they're killing it with shit like this. But then they're going to throw money at the other problem. I really want to know how they think this is going to work. Do they really think that they could just buy enough people? David, here's the thing. Do you remember? I know you remember, but like the mainline shit on the internet is like the underground shit that people talked about 10 years ago. You know, like I don't know how you.
Well,
You can't manufacture grassroots that unless it's blatantly obvious.
Well, and and here's the thing. This is almost like my favorite phrase turned out to be true, right? All this stuff that was
Straight out to be seen on me, dude.
All the stuff that was shoved down and put in like black, websites and dark webs and all this stuff that is now mainstream was always mainstream. The fact is, it was censored by these very same people who now want to spend millions of dollars to have some online clout, as they call it. And it was always the mainstream opinion. It was always mainstream. It's just like Trump people were never minorities. They were always the majority. But you can create a culture where you censor all these people and make it seem like you're in the minority. So that's what they did to us. They used YouTube and algorithms and all this stuff to censor all these people on social media. And then when Rumble started to take over and when Musk bought Twitter, all these people were brought out into the light for the first time. And now that they're all out in the light, it's fascinating that all this stuff seems mainstream and that they can't keep up with us. They never could keep up with us. They intentionally kept everyone down. They made you the minority.
Yeah, that was like the benefit of us being there to say, like, hey, man, you should look into this, is because they're telling you lies. And then 6 months later, when it finally came out, be like, see, dude, they're even admitting it now. But now it's the inverse. They're trying to hijack the Matrix when we hijack their Matrix. They're not happy about it. We told you this was going to happen. They're not going to go quietly into the night as they die.
And truthfully, that perfectly brings us to this Jake Tapper and Megyn Kelly clip, and it is a longer clip, as always, Ryan. As always. I can pause at any time.
Can I just say one more thing? Like maybe one or two more things about that list?
Yeah, you can say 1.5 more things.
Dave, you brought up a good point about us. Like, they censored us. They created this thing, and now that's all they think this was clout when it won a fucking election.
Just some online clout.
It's just online clout, but it drives billions of dollars. It builds whole ecosystems on the internet of like Rumble for people to get paid and to have Bitcoin and
which do you remember the term counterculture?
Yeah. They said we were building a breakaway economy.
They said Rumble was counterculture. It was, we are the mainstream. Let's get one thing straight. We are the mainstream. You are counterculture.
Well, especially when they're trying to dismantle our culture. They're Marxist culture. Like
yes, that's another good point. Is our culture is just, as we say, back to our roots. That's our culture. So anything that is counter to that is counterculture. You are the counterculture. We are the mainstream. Always have been.
Yeah, how are you gonna tell Americans that we're the counterculture? You're literally infringing on people's fucking way of life. Blah blah. blah.
You guys and your
murder kids and tell me I can't retire.
Counterculture.
Yeah. You want to retire? No, we want to murder kids because they're brown and speak Lahayams, dude. Okay. This is fucking crazy. No, yeah. Yeah, and then that honestly, it's funny. It's not even a slap at the face anymore because there is areas like this that you can kind of like just not escape, but like fuck you, YouTube. But like, dude, that's all you think this is? I thought all the school shooters and all the mass shooters, David, were all on the internet. I thought all these radicalized extremists, the guy that came and killed the people at Tops was all online. Alex Jones, right, David? Sandy Hook.
That was what?
All this terrible stuff online. That's just clout. You said all that was just clout. Alex Jones, you sued Alex Jones for a GDP. Andrew Tate was just clout, David.
Just some clout.
You understand? Russell Brand, just clout. Steven Crowder, just clout. Candace Owens, just clout, David.
Yeah, counterculture.
David Ryan on YouTube, just clout. Just clout interfered in a foreign election. That's just clout, David. Spread medical misinformation that turned out to be correct. Clout
turned out to be
spread medical misinformation. The things that kept me and my family safe. Hey, man, we're just doing this. Medical misinformation. I saved people's lives. Go fuck yourself. Just clout? That's funny. Clout saved people's lives. Drink a gallon of milk a day. It's more hydrating than the Gatorade you sell, you fuckers. Just clout, huh? You don't like carnivore diet taking over carbohydrates diets, do you? Just clout. Don't eat all meat, it'll give you a heart attack. Your fucking bread's giving people heart attacks. Just clout, huh? Diet revolution. People getting fit and healthy, David. Just clout. People being millionaires in their living room. Just clout, David. OnlyFans bitches undressing for billions. Just clout, huh? Just clout. It's just clout. All the shit you do, all the shit you consume, all the laughable materials, just clout. All that art that you love, just clout. All that music is just clout. It's just clout, guys. No big deal. They downplay your whole existence and say it's you talking shit. Define clout, David. Define it. It's searching for fucking ego and drama. They sensationalized your lives and then call it clout. Because it started changing the world and changing people's lives. You didn't like that we hijacked your matrix, you motherfuckers. Just clout, huh? Dave and I won, it's just clout, huh? Alex Jones won, it's just clout, huh? Steven Crowder won, it's just clout, huh? Candace Owens won, just clout, huh? Patrick Bet David, just clout. Andrew Tate, just clout. Russell Brand, just clout. Joe Rogan, they lied about him. Lied to your face. The guy that they had that they now need to go find a fucking pink-haired version
I wish we had
of.
a Rogan. Yeah.
Man, I wish we had Rogan. We need a guy. You know who we need a guy like? Who? Joe Rogan. Fuck, man. We can't find Rogan. If he only lived in California, maybe he'd like come down here and talk to us. He seems so reasonable. Just clout. Trying to educate people. Just clout. I'm mad. Just clout. That's weird. That's what sells, but I'm told to relax. I thought it's all clout, David. Ben Shapiro murdering babies for his fucking Jews is just clout. He got rich on just clout. Daily Wire, our subscription, we're in entertainment. Just clout. Fuck you. Google, just clout. They collect all your data. Just clout, guys. Keep fucking researching. Just clout. We just own everything with BlackRock. Just clout. Chemtrails ain't real either, right? Just clout trails. Clout trails with a chance of clout balls, you fucking motherfuckers. I'll enjoy my clout every day when I become a trillionaire, laughing my fucking ass off on a private island that we don't rape kids on, that we blow shit up and have freedom. You motherfuckers. I will rub your nose in it, Jake Tapper. You just clout chasing. You worthless, spineless bastard. It's not mine to judge, David. But he's a scumbag.
It's ours to judge. This there is a shorter version of this clip, but it doesn't give you everything like this longer clip does, Ryan. So it is longer than I normally like. But as always, we can pause, and as always, we will get through this. But Megyn Kelly, outstanding job. Outstanding job. I will always give credit when credit's due. We've done that with Tim Pool like twice in the last couple of weeks. This is credit where credit's due material.
Knowing what I know now, obviously, I feel tremendous humility about my coverage. That Laura Trump interview, for example, etc. She saw something that I did not see at the time. 100%.
Can we pause it?
I own that. I did ask.
I love that it's the second I see Megyn Kelly. I love that she's got long hair. It looks like a girl again. Megyn Kelly here. Don't you mean like fucking Stephen Kelly, dude? What are you doing? Go ahead.
That was it?
That's all I got. Dude.
Oh my god.
Trump is changing the world overnight, dude.
By the way, when Jake Tapper
dude.
says when Jake Tapper says this about Laura Trump. I don't think it's Laura. It's something weird. Just think all of us, by the way. For example, like us, literally us, because we talked about this on the show. So we're gonna play the clip.
Just clout, dude. This clout is better than Veep,
CNN
dude. It's just clout, Dave.
CNN with all, this is why they'll never do it, no matter how much money you throw at it. CNN with all the money in the world didn't get it right. Ryan and myself. Ryan's in a car right now. I'm in a room that we haven't renovated yet.
$1 billion company, David.
Multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation couldn't figure this out.
Networked all over the world.
In an uninsulated, unheated basement. Got it perfectly fine.
Ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
but then he wasn't.
Thought that he was not transparent at all. No,
he promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all,
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues.
For the record, Jake Tapper, who claims to be a journalist, his idea of journalism was, we think Biden might have cognitive decline. Let's ask him. That was his journalism, according to him. That's as far as he took it.
I mean, it did turn out to be true. That he did.
Imagine running a police investigation and you have the man in the room and you're like, did you kill that girl? And he was like, no. And you're like, no, well, case closed.
That's it, dude.
What's this guy? I don't fucking know. I asked him. He said no. Like, what is it? Fucking, it's better than Chris Cuomo on what basis should I ask questions? But it's still not great. It's still not great. He's like, I should ask, but I'll ask Biden. Oh, he promised to be transparent, so he's definitely not going to lie to me. That was CNN journalism. Chris Cuomo and this guy, who might have been CNN, might have been MSNBC. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're the same person.
It's amazing, too, David, that he doesn't have to take accountability for, like, I know that he's trying to double down and do this book, but on the other side of Biden not being transparent, it wasn't even like, we followed up with the White House and still haven't gotten anything back. Like, there was...
Yeah, he doesn't even say he went farther. He's like, I asked the president and he said he was fine. And then he wasn't like, I also asked this person and a doctor and somebody else familiar with the matter or whatever bullshit terms they use. He just said, I asked the president. He said he was fine. And then the investigation stopped. Yep. Case closed.
You're going to ask a question to the guy that goes, does the dog pony show got to do a rotated saddle bed?
This is, I imagine this is how the conversation went. Mr. President, people are worried about your cognitive decline. Do you care to comment on that? I think I saw there was a bird in the field, the one, and no, it wasn't a bird. I think it was a duck. It's like, fuck, dude, answer. That's your answer right there. He's cognitive decline. Nobody answers like that. This guy has problems.
I watched a guy fall up multiple staircases multiple times. He fell off a fucking bicycle. You know what I love about Trump? Man knows he's not getting on a bike ever. I'm not riding bikes. Too risky. Just fucking...
Won't catch my fat ass on a bike.
No, I go because there's cars. It's great. I get my hip workout in. Do your Kegels. He definitely Kegels at the end of that swing. Dude, just tight ass.
Drinks Diet Coke. And
don't give a fuck.
Like, he knows.
Never lifted in his life. 6'4" allegedly.
On a bike.
I am not.
But I did ask him about his age and the fact that the American people had concluded that even though he said whenever anybody brought up the subject of his age, watch me. And I said,
yes.
Apparently, Jake
laughing. We have gotten 1 minute into a 9-minute clip and we have paused it 4 times. Sorry.
All I'm gonna say is I wish that Jake Clapper would be told by Ben Shapiro about retirement. Maybe he would have a better grasp on the Joe Biden problem.
So. Jake Clapper is his OnlyFans name.
They're watching you and they are concerned that you were too old for this job.
But you know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct. I didn't. And like I said, I feel humility about my coverage. I mean, it's not like I was asking him his favorite movie or his favorite color. We were talking about Putin. We were talking about other issues of national importance. But yeah, I mean, of course, I've said I look back at my coverage with humility, and I wish I did cover the issues of age and acuity, but I wish I had covered them much more. And I wish, I mean, of course, it's May 2025. Do I wish that in that 10, 15-minute interview I had with Biden in October 2022, that this had been the only subject? Because I had then
well, it wasn't
what I
just
know
that,
now.
though, Jake. It wasn't just that. I mean, you sat with him a couple of times in the course of his presidency, and these issues
No, I
were not
didn't.
pressed. Well, there was
No,
at least
I-
that time,
I-
and then there was the time at the beginning. And but separate and apart from that,
but Megyn,
you
Megyn, hold on,
covered the
hold on.
Biden's
I sat
presidency.
with-
No. Let me just finish my point.
I'm
You
just saying
covered the
I had
Biden
one interview with him
presidency.
during his. I had one
Okay,
interview
right.
with
And
him
it was
during the
13 days
presidency.
after the Jackie Walorski thing. But you covered the Biden presidency aggressively throughout the 4 years, and you didn't cover mental acuity hardly at all. I mean, time and time again, when issues came up, you seemed to be running cover for the president.
I don't
You didn't seem
think
interested.
that's true.
Well, I mean, we'll start with the Laura Trump issue that you referred. Here it is. This happened in 2020.
Joe Biden, as we all know.
Hold on. Just so it's important to highlight.
Why is Reagan trending?
Yeah, we'll see. This clip, as she said, this clip is from 2020. Okay. This is a very long time ago. Okay. 5 years ago, well before he was running for re-election. Just to put it in context.
His work to overcome a stutter. How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
You are
to
no.
watch somebody on stage search for
This is so
questions.
amazing.
You're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I
a
think that you
stuttering.
were mocking his stutter.
Idea, Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
And it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel
Laura
sorry
Trump.
for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure it was from a place of concern. We all believe that. Laura Trump, thank you so much.
Do you want to apologize to Laura Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
And what did she say?
I mean, I don't want to disclose the contents of a private conversation, but I thought the conversation went well. And she said, she has said this publicly, so I feel fine sharing it. She said that she would never mock anybody's stutter. But I mean, after we did the research for this book, and I realized how bad his acuity issues were, I
can because
isn't it weird he did research for a book, but now when he got paid as a fucking journalist?
I was just gonna say that's key. That's key. When he was a journalist on CNN, he didn't do the research. He asked the president if he felt like he had cognitive decline. The president responded no, and he ran with that forever.
Dude, how many fucking things were fucked up because the guy's dying? He has fucking some kind of cancer, don't he?
Prostate, I think it was.
What the fuck?
Metastatic.
Yeah, you fucking broomstick the guy a fucking geriatric presidency to fucking run against Trump. You stole that shit.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought that comment was interesting because he's like, well, after I started doing research for my book, what were you doing as a journalist for CNN?
Dude, this book deal he's going to try to spawn. Maybe he'll get a podcast and he can actually do journalist work, David. Maybe he's going to follow Megyn Kelly's space and he'll just be the left wing in Megyn Kelly.
I say this truthfully. If he had a true, and I mean this, not fake, like I think he's doing. If he had a true come to Jesus moment, okay? And he goes from, I was the journalist at CNN who asked the president if he thought he had mental decline, if he takes that all the way to where Megyn Kelly is, which is an actual journalist who asks actual questions, and he's sincere about it, I welcome him over here. And I have that same thought for any air quotes journalist that worked for CNN or MSNBC, Chris Cuomo and the rest of them. But the same thing, we had the same problem with Chris Cuomo, where he said a couple of the right things, but he clearly never had that genius moment where he was like, holy shit, I've been doing everything wrong. And we found that out when he went on PBD's podcast and he said, well, on what basis was I supposed to ask questions? Chris, on the basis you were a journalist. That's the basis you're supposed to ask questions. Oh, why would I question the science and the doctors? Because you're a fucking journalist. You're supposed to question literally everything.
It's like your job's to be nosy, you prick. You just couldn't be nosy. Just get opinionated up there. Was that it, David? They just started enjoying the kind of what sports media is in right now. They got all the personalities more so than sports coverage, and it's about like the Nick whatever dude that loves the Chiefs shit talking the Bills every year. Is that we're on drama narrative?
Sports media is now divulged into race war because Ryan Clark from ESPN and Robert Griffin, the junior or third or whatever the fuck he is, they're fighting each other because RG3 said something about Angela Reese and she's black and RG3's black, and quite frankly, so is Ryan Clark, and they're all talking about how he shouldn't have said something about a black woman because RG3 has a white wife. Dude, fuck off. Talk sports. I want to know who's good at dunking. Like, I don't care about RG3's wife being white. Like, are we seriously there? They're trying to ignite a race war.
I got fucking 6 points on fantasy on this guy this week.
Yeah, like
trying to make like $100 maybe to like go out this weekend with my friends.
Dude, I don't need to know.
Trying to break even, dude. I got 20 in. Like,
I don't care if RG3's
fucking parlay. Fuck.
Dude, can somebody talk about hockey or something? Like, I don't care about this. I don't care that his wife is white.
Dave, you only want to talk hockey because it's the only true white sport left, David.
Dude, Davante Adams said on a podcast, he was a receiver. I don't know where the fuck he is anymore, but he was on the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre. Holy shit. With Aaron Rodgers for years. Davante Adams said on a podcast, when he lined up against a white defensive back, he would yell milk check. First of all, that's fucking hilarious.
Funny,
that's fucking hilarious. But could you imagine? But could you imagine the story of the right winger for any hockey team? Anytime he lined up against a black winger, if he said some racist shit like milk check? Are you kidding me? That would be front page news everywhere.
Coco leche. Some Mexican brown milk, dude.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the counter of that article? Fucking
David, as a
milk
white person
check.
that puts a lot of pride in their milk, I take offense to that.
It's fucking hilarious.
I called Laura Trump and I said you were right.
She was totally right. That's the thing, because when I watched that clip, and I'm
no, you were wrong, you fuck. I don't want to hear that. You were right. No, you were wrong.
I was angry because she was right. And not only did you not allow her to make her comments, but you seemed to try to humiliate her. You had a hostility toward the position, but she was totally right. And then you lectured her on how she was in no position to diagnose cognitive decline, which you guys do at length, including on page 4 of your book. You describe at length his cognitive decline, which is all she tried to do with you. But you had such a visceral reaction to her. And my feeling is that's because you didn't want to hear it.
No, I'm happy to talk about this. I didn't come here thinking that you weren't going to ask me about this. So I'm happy to talk to you about it.
No, I know.
The first time I saw the coverage of Laura Trump's comments, which were interpreted as her mocking Joe Biden's stutter, was in January 2020. I read it in conservative media. I read it in the Daily Mail. And that's where I saw that her comments were being interpreted that way.
I would love to pause it, Ryan, because it's the same place I wanted to pause it again.
Isn't that funny? They're like, David, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, so I like the path of least resistance. I know I'm an electrician, David. But if I'm reading in conservative news that, hey, man, Joe Biden's thing is blah, 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 and here's all the things and all the facts. If you basically just take their article and do the opposite of it, you have like the easiest homework ever. You just ask him the same question, see what he says. If conservatives saying he stuttered because of blah, 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 just like, all right, well, can you like show me that you can like, I don't know, walk in a circle or something? It's amazing to me. They thought, oh, Dave, that's right, because they thought our entire space is clout. Clout. That's why he didn't take it serious. They viewed it as drama. Like internet, they viewed us as like an internet, like what's the fucking Real Housewives shows? Soap operas. We're like an internet political soap opera to them.
Here is my problem with what he's saying right now. For the record, this is him finding a way to skirt responsibility. Like you said, he didn't say I was wrong. He said she was right. That's a weird mindset thing. We used to talk about mindset on here, but that's like a weird mindset thing. This is him also doing it again. It's like him skirting responsibility. What he's saying is, well, I was reading in conservative media that they interpreted what she was saying as mocking a stutter. No, you interpreted her mocking his stutter. That was you interpreting that. It doesn't matter where you thought you read that. Oh, I read it on conservative media. It doesn't matter. What did you say? You said you have free will, Sam Harris. You have free will. You chose to say she was mocking his stutter instead of asking the questions, doing the research then when it mattered, not now when you wanted a book deal.
Right, Dave. It's just like he was just showing up to get the experience so he could just run off and do this anyways in some kind of regard. Which, whatever, if you're going to check out at your job, cool. But, the difference is this guy basically, David, if you and I can interfere in New Zealand's election, he clearly interfered in our election with him not talking in length about the president's health decline when it was rapidly in front of us. And this is also a funny thing that I'm also finding funny when he's talking about reading conservative news. He's acting as if the sources that wrote that paper have no medical sources that they could consort of their own and get maybe a different perspective, or maybe from like a different doctor. Because you know who also talked about Biden's health decline, David? Joe Rogan.
Man, if only they had a Joe Rogan.
Maybe they just needed a Joe Rogan, dude. That would have helped them.
It's almost like they needed a guy who smoked weed, endorsed Bernie Sanders, and lived in California. Imagine if they had.
That was a comedy teller.
Yeah, that's crazy. If only they had a Joe Rogan.
Those comments were publicized. It got a lot of coverage. And
Super
Sully Sullenberger wrote an op-ed in the New York Times criticizing her about this. So that's the context for that. That I was following up on a story that had been out there months before. This is also in the context of October 2020, a very intense time. People on the Biden side are saying crazy things about Trump. People on the Trump side are saying crazy things about Biden, including Don Jr. suggesting that Joe Biden is a pedophile.
Suggesting, David.
Let's touch on that. Okay? Let's touch on this. He still has the balls to write people off. They were saying crazy shit about him. Don Jr. was saying that he was a pedophile. Okay, maybe we got to wait 5 years for you to write a book about him being a pedophile. His daughter had a diary where she wrote he took showers with her and she, quote, felt molested. We have to wait for the facts, Jake Tapper? I got to wait for your second book to come out before we can say that he's a fucking pedophile? The guy was molesting his daughter in the shower. Me? I don't need to wait for your facts or your second book. Maybe do the research
Joe Biden's son smokes crack off cream cheese crusted fucking Ritz crackers.
Jake Tapper sold his lies. He sure did. They all ran cover for the Biden administration. Everybody in the media was
sold lies.
For the administration. It's been doing it.
They covered up. They stole your country. They interfered your elections. They did psychological, neuro-linguistic programming on you and all your coworkers, friends, family, neighbors. That's not just I messed up. That's you fucking deceived humanity. That, like, am I understanding it, David? If I, because clearly, David,
No, you have
as an
cognitive decline.
clearly I have cognitive decline, but as somebody who can interfere in any election as I see fit, David, if I can interfere in an election, he clearly has more pull than me, David.
By the way,
That's the problem.
Toto's a fucking badass name. If your name is really Toto, that's fucking awesome.
Toto.
Toto.
Tapper sold his life.
Yeah.
Toto Payne Diaz.
Welcome to the live chat, Ryan. You had a whole day off yesterday. You should be back refreshed. You forgot how to
did I stutter? I do have a slight stutter.
Stutter.
Stutter. You're going to notice it every time.
That is the larger context. But as I said, her comments have aged well. My comments have aged poorly. I
Like
own
Biden.
that.
So this is again like this is this skating responsibility again. Well, her comments aged well and my comments aged poorly. This is like the whole my favorite phrase turned out to be true. It was always true. You were just now admitting it was true.
And you either
comments
just didn't know.
Well. Her comments aged well because she was telling the truth. Just say
her comments aged well.
Come out and say I lied or I got it wrong and just be done. I don't need this. Well, the context was, I was reading conservatives and they said something about a stutter. Fuck off. Just say you were wrong. Stop dancing around the topic. Dude, just say I got it wrong. This book is my way of getting it right. I'm sorry it took me 5 years. I will do better. That is the messaging, Jake Tapper. You
That's
don't
how you
need
get the
millions of
Joe
dollars
Rogans
for
to go
clout.
up.
I'll give you the information. I'll give you the suggestions.
I think what is
$3.99 or whatever
significant
Dave charges.
in addition to me owning that, the reporting that Alex and I have done, which is beyond just, and when I say just, I don't mean to diminish it, but the comments of Joe Biden making gaffes, saying things stupid, tripping, are all important and all deserved to be aired and all deserve scrutiny. But as you know, Megyn, because even though you look 30 years younger than me, we're roughly the same age. Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay,
I get what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down. It was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book. We knew and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him, where it was obvious he couldn't get through a 1-minute take. So they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none, but you did. You did. And so while you've been in Washington 30 years, Jake. You guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort.
Not a billion-dollar company, Megyn Kelly, clearly.
And now for you guys to write this book, like there was a cover-up. It's like there was a cover-up and there was an attempted cover-up. It could only ever work if you allowed it.
That's the big picture. That's it. That's the close. She nailed it.
There was only a cover-up if you allowed it. All it takes for tyranny to thrive is good men do nothing, David. I think that was Thomas Jefferson.
That's the line. That's the close. She nailed it. We might have to save some of the stuff for tomorrow, Ron, because we had a handful of things, and who knows what tomorrow's news day might bring. Maybe nothing. Unless you want to keep going. I know you're refreshed because you had off yesterday.
You know, I worked 17 hours yesterday out of 24. Right, like 7.
You worked 0 hours. You worked 0 hours for this company, though. Right, if your other work is interfering in this work, then we're gonna have to talk about it.
You're gonna have to give it up. David, I was like on the clock for 17 hours yesterday.
I know, but that didn't make That didn't make me any money.
Dude, when I put lights in that studio, they're going to be $1 trillion.
I need you here to redo the studio, Ryan. This is atrocious right now. I have fake wood paneling, Ryan. I have green. I have fucking green curtains, and I have pictures of animals that I can't quite define. Pheasants, maybe?
No, those are quail.
Quail. Those are quail, Ryan. And definitely a deer and some form of fish.
Just on one wall.
So it's like my dad would love it.
There's other stuff.
There's a crossbow hanging on the other wall.
I have a black squirrel. Hold on.
Do you have a squigga? What? I can say squigga. It's not.
Dude.
Right? You can say squigga.
Why is that?
Because look at this.
Why is that what you chose?
Because that's the easiest one to carry over here. Look at this fucking thing.
We're just surrounded.
That's terrifying. Do you willingly have a dead squirrel just chilling?
I feel there's
Ryan, are you not listening? Right now around us there's a dead pheasant on the wall. There's a dead coyote.
That's a pheasant.
I'm fine with that, dude. A squirrel.
Okay, I thought that was like a small turkey or something.
No,
I don't know what the fuck that
Then
is.
there's a dead coyote next to it on the wall. There's dead fish around us. There's a fucking.
Is that a skunk?
Skunk pelt. There's another coyote pelt.
Dave, you want to hear something I heard about fishermen? Actually,
Gamble quail, safe bets.
I heard something about fishermen. What they're actually doing.
Yeah.
What they're actually doing is they're getting a bunch of measurements when they catch like the big ones. They take a bunch of pictures of it. They release it. Instead of keeping it, they go to a guy and they 3D print you the fish and they make it look just like the fish, so you don't have to kill the fish. And then
has an app, and you like take a picture of it, and it auto identifies the fish and measures and weighs the fish based on the pictures. And it gets close. He said he's compared it to actual weights and measurements. And he says it's like pretty dead on. It's like eerily correct.
It's almost as if the camera, David, can measure the light particles and know the vibration.
Furry rat. No, that is
that's a squirrel.
Is that a black squirrel though?
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah, it's like a North American black squirrel. I have also a piece of his ear was missing. I don't know.
You have a native squigga?
Ha!
I'm pretty sure they're technically like gray squirrels.
What was it? What was one of your topics at the end here? Wasn't there like a quickie? You said you had a quick clip.
There's a whatever clip. Do you want to play the whatever clip?
But is this going to be like I'll pontificate about women?
It's sure.
Fuck it. Do it. Fucking.
Should we do it? All right, let's
fucking.
It. Hold on. I think it's this one. So he's in the middle of a debate. So for anyone who doesn't know, by the way, this guy's like whole shtick is he like debates women. That's like
debates whores.
Well, I don't think this
like
girl's not
whores.
This
like
is like
the worst.
Yeah, like he does do that, but like he debates women in general. Like his most popular clips is debating like OnlyFans sluts, and that's whatever. I get it. I get why that gets clicks. But he also like very much debates women on like history and historical facts and all types of stuff. So this is them debating about like women's right to vote. And he clearly has the facts and she clearly does not. And then hilarity ensues. Because the guy's I'm going to be honest, the guy's a fucking asshole, but it's hilarious. Just so we set the stage. I think the guy's funny, but he's a dick. I wouldn't want to debate him if I was a girl.
This sounds like me, man. Oh, I know this guy. Well,
it's the guy. It's
that women didn't have the right to vote until 1920. Women couldn't open a bank account in the United States till 1974.
When did men get the right to vote?
Oh, okay, I know this is exactly what you were talking about. This is what you're known for, is like getting people on a technicality that we don't historically know. But the answer to that is no. The answer to that
that's no.
No, the answer to that is the fact that in 1920, everyone was given the right to vote, but there were still barriers to vote for people of color.
When did men get the right to vote?
The right to vote was guaranteed to all people in 1920, according to the 19th
Yeah,
Amendment.
before 1920, were all men allowed to vote?
No.
Okay,
They
great.
weren't.
And then when men's
because of
suffrage
white
was passed,
supremacy and because our system
Yeah.
was not founded equally.
are you aware that men only got any rights to vote about a decade, roughly, before women?
That is not true. Men have been making the founding fathers were all men, so I have no idea what you're talking
Well, what
about.
does that have to do with the right to vote?
The right to vote was historically withheld from men of color. It was a
It
white.
was also withheld from
Listen to
the
me.
general
Do not
population.
cut me off.
landowner.
No, I'm in the middle of speaking.
I don't care if you're in the middle of speaking. You're in the middle of a debate.
The right to vote.
You don't have your TikTok mute button, sweetheart.
I will not be speaking anymore until you have a conversation with him.
Well, look,
mute button.
If we can, for both people, if we can allow each other to finish, even if you want to jump in, just let the other person finish speaking. If somebody's going on a monologue and they're filibustering, I'll try to get them to wrap up. But just if they're making a point, just try to let them finish.
No, I did not
She couldn't even make it through him.
to build a platform to be talked to like this. So I will be walking away from the microphone right now, and I would encourage you to get your guest under control. I'm going to take 2 minutes, so you can ask him questions if you'd like, and I will be right back.
Because you run the show.
I just won't be back. And
I don't give a shit. What do I care? I'm here to have a debate, not listen to your whining. Do you want to have a debate or not?
All right, I'm not going to be talked to like this.
Well, do you want to just take a little 2-minute breather? You want to take a 2-minute breather?
At no point did they get to the actual debate.
So that was it.
The second her worldview was pushed, she crumbled.
It's weird, dude. I love that he even called it men's suffrage. I don't know. I've never heard of men's suffrage because men are killing themselves in numbers that women have never seen other than war times. But interesting. I don't know. I think the lesson more than anything, David, is just do your damn research so that you don't just end up in a big vat of clout. As always, Dave Ryan.
Wait, hold on. Do you want Eve to do the outro?
Mm-hmm.
You want to see what it's like?
Dave Ryan, Eve, go ahead.
I don't remember it. What did I say yesterday? As always, everyone.
You butchered 2 outros? It was right there.
For the greatest podcast
I
in the
trained
world.
you.
It's on Rumble and YouTube and somewhere else, I think, probably. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks, brothers and sisters.
Dave Ryan and Eve, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, wait, no, you forgot. I appreciate you, David, most for your time.
I appreciate you, David, for your time, as always. And everybody else, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Eve just works the camera incidentally. She doesn't even mean to.
And she's so cute, it's hilarious. I'll see you later. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Go Bills.